All right. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Is that coming through? Hello. Confirm if you can hear me. Por favor. Check, check. I'm not hearing myself, but it looks like it's coming through. It's El Jamie. I see us followed. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. Master Figures is back. Welcome back. Much appreciated. Can you hear me okay? For some reason, I'm not hearing it on my end, so I just want to make sure everything is good over there. How Draw King, you're too kind. Day's going good. Day's going good. Can I just get a quick confirmation from somebody that they can hear me okay? It looks like it's coming through, but for some reason I'm not hearing it on my end, so I just want to make sure. Oh, I got a typo? Awesome. Okay. Well, thanks for that. I guess it is what it is. I'll just fix it when it's over. So, some of your art's on X. Awesome. Hope you guys like that. Yes, I can hear you. Fantastic. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know why it's not coming through on my headphones or whatever, but hey, as long as you guys can hear me, that's what matters, I guess, right? So, awesome. 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 So, we are not really gonna really draw anything too much in particular. Just kind of having some fun, goofing around, and we'll see how it goes. But you can hear me, fantastic. Thank you. Glad to hear that. Thanks for the confirmation. Um, awesome, awesome. So, how's everyone doing today? If you don't know me, my name is Tim, otherwise known as Gollum Wolf, here on the interwebs, and yeah, as is it Itzel Jamie? Is that how it's pronounced? Um, Mentioned, yeah, I do have a lot of art posted on X, so appreciate you checking that out, man. I'm glad you're liking what you see there. Um, yeah, so drawing Spawn, yes. um, why not? Why not give Spawn a try? You know what? I'm gonna get some reference for him here. Um, I think I'm gonna draw the classic Greg Capullo Spawn because he's the one that I'm particularly fond of. So let's go ahead and try that out. I had some pictures here pulled up. It's a Jamie, whatever drawing. Well, I'm going to do a little bit of warming up first, but Master Figures convinced me to give Spawn a try, so we're gonna give that a shot here. Let's see how that goes. I'm just pulling up some reference for him here. Spawn, Greg Capullo. And if you're a comic book nerd like me, I'm sure most of you know who Greg Capullo is. But personally, he's my favorite Spawn artist. I love the way he draws them. I just want to get some. There we go. Yeah, there's a photo of him here with this giant gun that I just love. So we'll go ahead and open that up in a new tab. And it also shows me plenty of costume detail. So for the first little bit here, I'm just going to do some warm up sketching, just stuff to kind of loosen up, warm up here. So nothing too fancy. I've been doing a little bit of drawing. I don't know if you can see some of the ink on my fingers. I've done a little bit of messing around already, but I realized I missed seeing you guys, so figured I'd come on and hang out with you. I am going to be out of town most of next week, so I wanted to get as much streaming in this week as I can, just to kind of hang out with you guys and see what y'all are up to. No Finema. Yeah, I think I think I did as much Phineas and Ferb as I'm probably gonna do for the time being. 11 Animators, our resident Phineas and Ferb expert. I learned a lot about them from him. Let's see. I think I got that. I think I can. I think I still got that in here. Let's see. I can remember which page that was on. Let's see. I had a couple different sketchbooks here, so I got to make sure I got it in the right one. Let's see. There we go. This is for L11 Animator. Um, for not knowing anything about Phineas and Ferb, I'm pretty happy with how those turned out. I think they turned out okay. And then this was my start on a Wonder Woman sketch. I'm probably gonna try something with her later. I don't know. There's some proportional stuff on this and some pose stuff that I kind of want to tweak before I start inking that. So we'll see. There's some other just rough sketches. I think I did some of these on stream. I can't remember. There was a practice of Sub-Zero. So yeah. So and I ended up doing the Sub-Zero for my Tuesday night stream this past week. I thought it turned out okay. I was having issues finding some of the markers that I wanted, so I ended up coloring it with colored pencil instead. And yeah, I thought it turned out all right. The replay of that is on the YouTube channel, but might still be up on Twitch, depending on how long they keep that there. But I did find all my markers now, so I got all that squared away. So we can definitely do some marker stuff. Just kind of trying to just trying to loosen up here. So how have you guys all been? Thanks for swinging by. I know, Master Figures, you said you were, last I think I saw you, you were working on a Daredevil piece. Do you mind if I ask how that turned out? I don't know. This is just kind of... I can try like get the arm going like that. Something like so. Okay, and then there's a great Greg Capullo spawn where he's kind of got them all kind of chilled out like this. Just gives him those big old arms like this, and then the cape. Yeah, so all this is just kind of loosening up, just getting the hands to work with the way my brain is thinking. Yeah, Spawn's kind of got that kind of crazy mask. kind of like that. And then he's got the big cape. Okay. All right, here we go. Here we go. Let's give it a shot. Sharpen here. Do, 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 do. Let's see here. Kind of like the idea of drawing him with that giant gun. There's a great Capullo piece, but I don't know. He doesn't really use the guns a whole lot, does he? He's kind of more of a... There's a few pictures of him with the big gun by Greg Capullo. All right, yeah, let's use the big gun because I can. All right. Let's try this. So kind of a big circle for the torso. Kind of the trunk. Hips. Legs. And then kind of do the basic spot for the head here. And actually, I might shrink that a little bit since we want Spawn to be pretty big. And so the easiest way to do that is to shrink the head. And then he's got the arm. We'll give him kind of the big old hand like that. I'm going to do it along with you. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, man, I'd love to see it. Yeah, when you get it done, please, tag me on either Instagram or X, wherever you post it. I'd love to see it. Let's see that. Kind of have him looking down at us. Nah, have him off a little bit. Give him a bit of a 3/4 angle. A little more forgiving. So we have a big ol' arms here. Now, I'm assuming, I think we're going to have his cape blocking a lot of this. So that'll give us some leeway here. And then I know the cape changed shape quite a lot over the years. So even when Greg drew it, man, his that cape would either be like super tattered or who knows. So I think in the old cartoon, the HBO cartoon, they had like this whole thing would just be connected right here. It was just like one big sheet, if I remember right. It's been a while since I've seen that show. And then we'll just give him these big dang forearms. And then let's see. You know what? Let's try this. So if I turn them a bit more this way. I'm an artist too, but digital. Hey, man, nothing wrong with digital. That's awesome. I draw digital all the time. Do you post your stuff anywhere, Easel Jamie? I'd love to see it. You can if you're curious about it. I do my first few Tuesday night draw streams were done digitally in Clip Studio. You can find those on my YouTube channel, the replays. Yeah, on Instagram and X. Okay. Is it under the same name? I'd love to check it out. follow your ex. Awesome, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. Do you have Instagram? I do. It's under the same name, Gollum Wolf. All of my, they should all be somewhere on the screen somewhere. Otherwise, on my in my bio on Twitter, I do have a link tree that has all of those links in it. But yep, it's under Gollum Wolf. And I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with this arm because I know I want this arm to be here because I want him to be holding a giant gun. Because Capullo's got him, holding this just huge gun, which I love. Sup, Rev? How's it going, brother? Doing good. Giving my attempt at Spawn here. Thanks to the suggestion of the awesome Master of Figures. How you been doing, brother? Followed your Instagram. Thanks, H.L. Jamie. I really appreciate that, man. Yeah, I can't wait to check it out. I'll definitely look forward to seeing your work. All right, so big Spawn question for anybody that's interested. Who, or if anyone that's familiar with them, or anyone who cares, do you prefer the Todd McFarlane version, or do you prefer the Greg Capullo? Silver Comment, hello, welcome in. How are you? How long have you been streaming? Probably about a month or so. Tired but doing well. I hear you, man. I hear you. I hear it's getting. I hear it's been just about as hot for you guys over there as it is for me over here in the Midwest. But as far as this particular stream, I've been going on for about 22 minutes. But overall, I've been streaming probably about a month or so, consistently anyway. I'm an aspiring comic book artist. I'm currently in the middle of drawing, or sorry, not drawing, in the middle of writing my script out for a book I got coming up for my main character here. Sounds good, most definitely. So this is my main character. Ignore the lettering. The lettering sucks, but this is my main character. His name is Dominai. He's a barbarian character. I'm currently writing the script for him, and it's going to be kind of more like a fantasy action horror with some barbarian tropes. I think it'll be a lot of fun. At least I hope it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be fun for me anyway. I don't. So hopefully other people will like it. I'll be in and out. Can't see. Wait to see how this one comes together. Me neither, brother. Yeah, no worries, man. No worries. Looking forward to seeing you soon, man. Looking forward to hanging out IRL. Dude, I'm so stoked for that. And wow, so Jamie, you're real sweet, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. I do like Vikings. I do as well. Vikings, barbarians, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, this guy is gonna be more. He's more of a more barbarian tropes. Although I probably will be putting some Viking in there because I just can't help myself. But so if you're familiar with guys like characters like Conan, or any of those Robert E. Howard type characters. He's very much inspired by that, but I'm putting my own kind of spin on him. I don't know. I felt like the barbarian fantasy trope, I don't think has been done very. I don't think it's been handled great lately. I think there's been a real dearth of creators that really get the barbarian trope. There's exceptions, of course. There's a guy named Andy Smith who's currently got a great comic book out called Cordrath, which is great. Why don't you show your face? Because I don't have the camera set up right now, and I'm going to be getting a haircut tomorrow. And frankly, my room is a bit uh, not really ready for the public. So just being completely honest, but my face isn't all that interesting anyway. But hopefully, yeah, in the near future, I can get my second camera working. But my face is out there on the internet, so it's not exactly hidden. And if you're really that desperate, you can watch my digital streams, which were done on YouTube. You'll see my face there. But yeah, dude, the Viking stuff I absolutely love. If you haven't seen it, whenever Vikings come up, I have to mention that movie, The Northman. If any of you have not seen that and you're a fan of Vikings, highly recommend that movie. It's rough. It's definitely not everybody's taste. I get that, but my God, man, it's so good. So I gotta get the skulls here. No, it's just that it will be more attraction. Thanks. Yeah, I'm working on it, man. Hopefully, yeah, in the near future. Well, I'm gonna be going out of town early next week for most of next week, and um, I'm hoping when I get back that following week, I'll be able to get the yeah, get that second camera working. I just have a little bit of a technical thing I got to set up. I got to get a longer cable and get a USB splitter and that kind of a thing. I got a camcorder that I was going to use. I got it really cheap, and of course, it's just not working. So I couldn't get it to focus or really react well with my camera. So a little bit annoying. Let's see. I had some other pencils nearby. Where'd they go? I'm getting the last little bit of this pencil that I can. For those that aren't familiar with these, this is a pencil extender. And so when you have pencils that are getting really short as they die out, you can use those to extend the life. So as you can see, this guy is just about out. But I'm making the most of it that I can, dang it. How long have you been sketching? Pretty much my entire life. I've something you hear a lot from a lot of artists, and so it's kind of cliche, I guess. But I don't really remember a time I wasn't drawing. I've always been drawing something, whether it was cartoons or superheroes or whatever. I'm a '90s kid, so I grew up with the '90s X-Men cartoon and the Batman the animated series and all that stuff. So I was at that perfect age to really get into all that, and yeah, and then I started discovering the comic books, and it was just all she wrote. I saw Joe Mad work, and or can you also sketch real faces? I mean, I personally prefer doing the more stylized stuff. I mean, realism is. I mean, hey, if that's what you like, awesome. But for me, I mean, I can do it. I've done some realistic stuff in the past. It's good to do that at least for learning proportions and whatnot. But personally, for me, I kind of like the more stylized look. My favorite artists are a little more in the exaggerated, stylized, um, style of things. So guys like Greg Capullo, Joe Mad, even David Lynch, or not David Lynch, David Finch. who a lot of people consider him a more realistic artist. He still has a lot of ways he stylizes things with his shadows and whatnot. Guys like Simon Bisley, Sam Keith, that list goes on. But yeah, I don't know. I just personally, I kind of like that more cartoony, exaggerated look. Let's see. This is kind of sounds cool. Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, I don't know if you saw my was one of my streams I did earlier this week. I showed off a Joe Mad comic and I did a little impromptu dramatic reading with voices and everything, and I just completely nerded out. But yeah, that dude's artwork is just he's one of those artists for me. I know every artist has that, but you just look at his work and it's just so dang good. You can't stand it. You just need to draw like right then and there. Like that's him for me. Where am I from again? I'm in the smack dab in the middle of the USA. I'm currently living in Nebraska. So literally right in the middle of the US. But yeah. Let's see. So this is Joe Mad right here, or Joe Madureira. This is his real name, but everyone calls him Joe Mad. Like this dude. Let's see. Just look at that, and you're just like, my God, man. My God. I love this. Oh, it's so good. So good. Yeah, just the way he draws is like that Hulk there, and it's so good. So good. I just love the shapes that he uses. It's so good. Okay, I kind of want to have Spawn's head kind of looking downward. Is that no? I wish that was my book. No, that's a guy named Joe Mad, or Joe Madureira. That's one that I use for a lot of my inspiration. I don't have any books currently published, but I am working on one, which is that barbarian character I was mentioning earlier. Hoping to get a bunch more. Hoping to get a bunch of them out in the near future. I got tons of story ideas of things I want to write and draw. So I figured this Domini book, my barbarian book, would be a good one to kind of practice, warm up on. Hopefully be kind of a fun one to start with. Sounds great. Thank you. Thank you. I do have some practice pages that I've done, which you can find on both Instagram and Twitter. I don't have them. I don't have them at hand right now, but yeah, just practicing the storytelling and stuff. I gotta tell you, I don't know. For me, that's the most fun part is getting into the storytelling. I have a background in film and video, and so translating that to basically directing in comics, it's just it's a lot of fun. And I can tell he made up a lot on this gun here. I love that it's a pump. It's like some big pump shotgun type thing, but with a big old drum on it. Hope it gets published soon. Oh, thanks, man. I'm still in the writing phase, so it's gonna be a minute, but um, yes, I would love for that to get done. I'm still looking at options for I don't know self publishing or yeah, still looking into that exactly how I want to do that. But trust me, when it's getting close to getting out there, I will not be shutting up about it. So you will, you will definitely know. God, this thing's got a. Yeah, this thing's gonna have like a 4-bore size cartridge or something. This thing's gonna be ridiculous. Like that. And then he's kind of got the. Just want to make sure I get the little mask shape right here. And then we'll give him a very hefty eyebrow, very hefty chin, cheekbone. Yeah, something I'm working on too, I think would be just for fun is trying to get a Discord up in the ground for people to, yeah, so if people do like to draw along or share artwork or just geek out about whatever, that could be a place where we could all do that. I don't know if that's something anyone would be interested in or not, but figured that could be pretty fun. And then this kind of comes in. Oh, that just kind of comes out like that. Okay. I noticed I don't really give him much of a nose shape when he's got the mask on. So I guess he doesn't really have a nose, does he? Because he's basically a skeleton under there because his face got all burned off. This character's called Spawn. He was real big in the '90s. He's still going technically, but yeah, he came out in the '90s comics after a guy named Todd McFarlane and a bunch of the rock star artists of the time basically went to Marvel and DC and said, "Screw you, we're not working for you guys anymore. We're doing our own thing." This was Todd McFarlane's baby, and when it first came out, just sold a ridiculous amount of copies. Even had a cartoon, which came out in HBO, which I thought was pretty sweet, voiced by the legendary Keith David. You know, he's all gravelly and like, get out. He's kind of like Todd McFarlane's version of like, I don't know, it's like Batman and Spider-Man, and but with like a Hellspawn stuff. Have I ever done anime? I mean, I've drawn in that style before. I've tried it. I'll admit my knowledge of anime and manga is quite limited. I have a lot of respect for it, and I appreciate it. But yeah, I can't say I know a ton about it. I mean, I've seen things like Berserk, which I thought was awesome. I haven't finished it by any means because there's a ton of it. And I grew up on Dragon Ball Z and that kind of stuff. But most of my experiences. Voice, thanks, man. Yeah, I have a bad habit of doing bad impressions and goofing around. But yeah, my real growing up was American superheroes and American comics, that kind of stuff. Not even always superheroes, but I grew up on Batman, X-Men, Spawn, that kind of stuff. But I'm always open. I'm always open to try new things. I mean, some of the stuff especially like the tech stuff, like the mech stuff that those guys do. Is it a bad habit at all? Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, no. one of my kind of childhood dream fulfillments I got to live was when I was in film school. My They would, at the end of every semester, they would rent out a movie theater in town and show all the projects that were done that year. And I got to be a part of the group that did the kind of the filler videos, like in between everything. And so of course I'm like, well, I'm in charge of it, so we're gonna do fake movie trailers. And so I got to hear my fake movie trailer voice in a big screen theater, that was like a highlight for me. You know, doing the whole like get ready for the big event of the year, yeah, kind of a thing. Oh, it was fun. Let's see, he's got that big old gauntlet here. And then the thing about Spawn is his cape is basically its own living entity, so you get to do a lot of fun stuff like that, getting the cape going. Todd loved using the cape to hide all those crazy details that he designed him with. Thanks, man. Thank you. I gotta make this chat window a bit bigger here so I can read things better. It's wonderful, man. Thank you. Thank you. You're very kind. Oh, looks like we got a little bot here. All right. I'm good. I'm good. Let's see. I forgot even how to remove bots. Nah, whatever. Bear with me here. We are going to see ya. Think that worked. I personally help streamers grow their channels. Hey, well, hey, I appreciate that if it's organic. I like that. But yeah, the idea of, I don't know, sometimes when they're like, pay me a bunch of money and we'll, falsely inflate your viewership, that's not really my thing. But I mean, if you feel like this channel's worth spreading around and showing to other people, I mean, I love that. I'd very much appreciate that and respect that because that's at least organic, helps in my arts. Yeah, for sure. So absolutely, I very much appreciate and respect that. But yeah, I don't know. I prefer to be more of a more organic rather than trying to overinflate it. But yeah, again, if you think this is worthy of pushing out and sending to your friends and you know all that stuff, I mean, awesome. I really appreciate that. Gotta get the, let's see. I haven't drawn a ton of Spawn, so that's why I'm spending so much time in the pencils. Not talking about buying views or subs. Oh, I'm not saying you were. I'm not saying you were. I'm just saying, yeah, when I see those types of, yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to accuse you of that's what you were saying, so I'm sorry if it came across that way. But yeah, when I see those bots like that, that's usually kind of how they work, at least in my experience. I could be wrong on that, but yeah, they'll be like, give us $20 a month and we'll inflate your membership, your viewership, and it's like awesome. But yeah, that kind of thing I'm not super into. But yeah, sorry if I came across as accusing you of that. That's not what I meant. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. All right. bunch of spikes. Okay, I'll do those spikes in ink. I don't feel like penciling those out. I can kind of do a lot of this cape stuff in ink as well. Okay, kind of got the cape. And then these little skull guys. I just helped them giving their channel a pro look. Okay, so did you like? So did you do like video stuff and that, or like how do you help those channels? Just out of curiosity. And I am generally curious. I hope I'm not coming off as a jerk or nothing. I know sometimes I can be a little bit obnoxious, but hopefully it's not coming across that way. Okay. There we go. There we go. Oh. Someone's home. You'll know when you see my Instagram. All right, sounds good. Sounds good. Well, that's right. He's kind of got that, like... I got that white stripe coming down. And then what 90s character is complete without a bunch of skulls and a bunch of chains? Let's see. He's got that kind of chain belt. Probably gotta do most of the chains with the inks. I'm not gonna take the time to pencil all that out. Okay, I think that's a pretty good start at least. Now, I know the camera kind of skews it a bit, so here's the a little more of an accurate look as far as proportions go. And maybe bring that bicep up a little bit. Just give him a big old hawking arm. And I did notice actually, yeah, Greg gives him these kind of like claw-looking fingers. They're not. Thumb too, I think. Looks like. I don't know, something about these oversized guns. I just love it. Okay. All right, all right. So, time to move on to inks. And before I do that, I always lighten the pencils down a bit with my kneaded eraser. These are made out of rubber, almost kind of like a putty type These are nice for lightening up the pencils without eradicating them completely. You can just kind of roll them down like so. And it just makes things go smoother when it's when you're inking, so the pencils aren't in your way, and also eventually when you erase for the sake of coloring, it just makes all that go smoother. So, okay. So off to inks we go. Let's try. We're going to go ahead and start with the cape here. Oh, just bear with me 1 second. All right, sorry about that. What's up, Matt's 20? How you doing? Thanks for swinging by. Hope all's good with you. Let's see. Doing well. Oh, glad to hear that. Yeah, I am doing fantastic. Doing fantastic. Working on this Spawn drawing here. Master of Figures, who's awesome dude, has challenged me to try him out, and so far it's turning out really fun. Yeah, and when you get to add all those like cape folds and all the, it's looking great. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Um, yeah, no. Last time I think you were hanging out with me. We were working on a Wonder Woman piece. I haven't forgotten about that, but yeah, there's some stuff I wasn't really happy with on it, so I might retry that one later. But for now, I thought it'd be fun to give the Hellspawn a try. He's a good old school '90s kind of. Yeah, I remember when this dude came out. Okay, I'd love to see it. Oh, thank you, thank you. Well, I'll tell you what, I can at least show you the. See, I think I got it in here. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? I got way too many sketchbook. Oh, nope, that's the Phineas and Ferb. There we go. So that's kind of where it's at the moment. I was able to kind of retouch up the face. Um, I kind of want to do some stuff with the pose and some of the proportions just to kind of tweak that a bit. Still not sure if I'm loving that shield or not, but that's kind of where we are at the moment. I'll probably, whenever I do work on this, I'll try to make sure to stream that. So if that's something you're interested in. But yeah, drawing female characters are still quite a challenge for me. So it's always good to try those out and just kind of see see where it goes. So it was good to embrace those challenges. Okay. The other thing I love about Spawn is just get to give them all these giant guns or weapons or whatever. Dude, it was, yeah, especially the early Spawn. I haven't read it in a long time. I haven't kept up with it, but yeah, I love those early stuff because it was such a 90s mentality. It's like, what's awesome right now? Ninjas. What else is awesome? Cyborgs. Put cyborg ninjas together, it just makes it even better. You got any goals with your skills or just doing this for fun? Well, a bit of both. I mean, this is fun, but as I mentioned earlier, I am working on that comic book that I eventually want to get out there, and so yeah, a little bit of both. But I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't a lot of fun. So, a bit of both. Her stomach is too skinny. Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of proportional issues and things that I want to fix on that. So, well, we'll see. I mean, since I am exaggerating things, I don't mind, exaggerating having that narrow waist because it is a very feminine look, and I don't want her to, I don't really want her to look like a bodybuilder or a dude. Like sometimes you see in like the Injustice games or whatever, they really like made her like a bodybuilder. So I didn't really want to do that. I wanted to keep her very feminine looking, and so I don't have a problem with shrinking that waist just to really emphasize that. But yeah, she does look a little bit anorexic. I will acknowledge that. So and so most of this is going to be the cape. And then we kind of got that forearm. I've seen some people on Instagram making live sketches in a very funny way. In a funny way. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure how funny I am, but I might have to take a look at that. Let's see. I'll send you an Instagram sometime. Okay, I'll take a look. Yeah, I just love how 90s this is. It's like I'm gonna hold my cape up with skulls. I love it. Yeah, weren't they doing another Spawn movie? I know that was something they were looking into, and I know Todd was talking about how he had script all finished out and how they were going to do it like a low budget horror movie, which could have been sweet, but I haven't really heard anything about that since. I think Jamie Foxx was going to do it, which actually I don't mind him at all. Especially since I don't know if you guys saw that '90s one. It was it was something. But I thought Michael J. White as Spawn was pretty sweet. He definitely looked the part. Uh, yeah, general rule of thumb is thicker lines on the outside, thinner lines inside. Just kind of a general rule of thumb here, and then until we get the until we start going into shadows. Let's see. Oh, that's a little too thin for what I want. There we go. Probably gonna black out most of this arm, but then we got the hand here. And we're just gonna add all these spikes here. Something like that. Sorry if I forget to talk. Pretty much all this is these are all gonna be blacked out. Okay. And then he's got a real square chin. Say something for me in that character voice. um, I don't know. Let's see. Well, I'm trying to think of a classic. In the cartoon, he just kept saying things like, "Get out. You are not Welcome here. Something like that. Get out. He's a man of few words, this guy. What the heck? Am I not welcomed? No, you are welcomed. You are welcomed. I would just, that's just a thing Spawn said a lot in the cartoon. Well, it's been a while since I've seen that show, but yeah, that's something I remember him saying a lot. Anyway, it was awesome. Thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yep, that was the great Keith David back in the day. Yeah, recording that. He was awesome. Okay, so now getting some chains in there. Trying to anyway. Let's see. Probably don't need to make them quite that small, but you know what you gonna do. A lot of chains. There. Come in with this guy here and kind of help me get some of the folds. I can always do these. I can always fix these with whiteout later if it's too bad. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the suit's going to be black, so if all else fails, I can always just fill it in, then come in with the white out and fix the chains once I'm done with the coloring, which is probably what I'm going to end up doing. Let's see. Oh yeah, I got this big old area of the cape here. It's looking so good. Oh, thanks, man. It's 20. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Of course, just when I think, oh yeah, this tool would be very helpful, I can't seem to find it. Oh well, we'll just take a look what we got. Let's see. Did you follow my Instagram? I'll check it out when I'm done streaming, bud. Yeah. I want to re-emphasize the. There. Yeah, see, since there's a lot of black in this costume, the trick is figuring out where to put it and where to leave some highlights. That's kind of half the fun with these kind of black, all blacked out costumes. You really get to play with that. And since this cape is here, we'll have that cause a shadow. And then we'll get this forearm. Something like that. I've kind of gotten obsessed with this drawing lately. Amir C. Hi. Hi, welcome. I don't recognize your name, so you must be new to the show. So thanks for coming in. Hope you're doing good. Welcome, welcome. Just having some fun, messing around, drawing some Spawn. It's looking amazing. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate that. Thank you. See, he had no problem just kind of letting the whole face fall into shadow. So you know what? Let's just do that. Master Figures, I'll be back. MC, thank you very much. Yeah, you're welcome, man. I appreciate it. Always excited to have new viewers watching in. You know, if you're familiar with the character Spawn, he was created by Todd McFarlane back in the 90s. I haven't really read any of his stuff for a long time. He's still going. Todd McFarlane. He's pretty much said that Spawn's gonna keep going no matter what. And so far, he stayed true to that. Let's see. We can almost just kind of do an underlighting thing with him there. So what brings you here, Amir C? Are you a comic book fan, art fan, anything like that in general? Or into any of this kind of nerd stuff? Yep. Awesome. As am I. I draw as well. Awesome. Do you post any of your stuff? I'd love to see it. What kind of stuff do you draw? Yes, both actually. Okay, cool. Let's see. Really stretching to see how much ink I got in this thing. If I really wanted, I got a much bigger brush I can use, or a brush pen. But I really love the shapes I can get out of this thing, so I'm gonna keep using it for now. Oh no, okay. Well, I'll go back and fix that later with whiteout. I just realized I covered in that the white part of his costume detail there. Whoops. Oh well. Dry anime request from people. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, I lost track and accidentally filled in that white part because there's supposed to be that white strip there. Yeah, well. Like I said, I can fix that later. Well, actually, you know what? I can fix it now since I'm not going to be coloring in it. Let's get my handy dandy white out. Yeah, I do it on my channel. All right, I'll have to check it out, man. I'll have to check it out. Just make sure my whiteout pen is working. Cool. Let's go ahead and kind of working. Yeah, I'm going to have to let that dry. And then I can do another layer on that. So I'll let that dry for a minute. Work on some other parts. But yeah, I'll have to check that out, man. Yeah, I'm currently in the process of writing my own comic book that I'm looking to draw in the hopefully in the near future. This is my main character here. His name is Domini. He's a barbarian type character. He's gonna be it's gonna be a lot of fantasy, horror, that kind of stuff, which I think could be pretty fun. Let's see. But yeah, do you post your stuff on like Instagram or X or anything like that? That's nice. Oh, thanks, man. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, I've always kind of had a love for barbarian characters, and I don't know. I feel like they've been kind of neglected lately, or at least not handled super well. So, with exceptions, of course. But I thought it'd be kind of fun to take my own stab at it. Um, Time to bring out the big guns. Let's see. Okay, so we're gonna do. I'm not gonna be painting over this, so I'm not gonna be coloring over this, so I'm not too worried about that. Uh, See you later, Master Figures. Thanks for hanging out, man. Appreciate it. But yeah, if you finish that spawn, please post it. I'd love to see it and tag me on it. I'd love to see how that turned out. Yeah, there we go. Kind of looks like I meant to do that. I'll let that dry, and then I can kind of come in with some of the there. I think it looks great. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, that whiteout I think really came in handy. It's a lifesaver. Yeah, I got too caught up talking and just completely forgot to leave that white strip in his in his costume. So I was like, oh no. Trying to keep that going. Let's see. Trying to think of ways, interesting ways I can use those large black shapes. Let's see. Well, first of all, we're gonna fill that in. There. Thing goes for whiteout. Sorry, I gotta remember to keep talking here. Let's see. So now we got this weekend coming up. Anybody got any exciting plans or anything coming up? I know I am finally getting a haircut tomorrow, so I know I'm excited about that. Nothing special, just hanging out at home. Oh yeah, spending some time with the doggos. Love it, love it, love it. No, I've been binge watching MythBusters on YouTube, and they just had an episode where they were doing a bunch of dog themed myths, and I love it. One of them was they were testing that whole adage, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, and they tested it with a couple Siberian Huskies that were, I think they were both like 7, I think they said, and apparently none of them had been trained before, and yeah, no, of course they were very smart doggos, so they caught on right away, busted that myth right open. But yeah, that was fun. It's like, oh man. Yeah, they also tested the one with the bloodhounds, like all those old school movie myths about fooling the bloodhound if you're running away from the coppers. Yeah, of course that bloodhound man was awesome. Yeah, I know. I discovered that they've been uploading a bunch of those MythBuster episodes to YouTube, and that was a dangerous discovery because I've been watching that show. I used to watch that all the time back in the day. Creative Faye, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for coming in. Yep, giving Spawn the old college try here, courtesy of our good friend Master of Figures, who's been a wonderful and loyal viewer lately. It was his request. I thought it'd be kind of fun doing a kind of a Greg Capullo inspired version here. I found a photo of his that I'm not completely ripping off, but mostly. Um, let's see. So how you been doing? Let's see. Trying to convince. I've been trying to convince some of my family members to go watch the F1 movie. I've been wanting to see that again ever since I saw it a couple weeks ago, but haven't been super successful yet. Have you read Spawn? Good, busy. I've read like the early Todd McFarlane issues. I read. I haven't read any of the newer stuff recently, but yeah, no, I definitely read back in the day. Yeah, like the early Todd issues, and then I think yeah, definitely read past the Billy Kincaid arc, which that was, whew, I think it was Spawn 5. Of course, as a kid, I was like, that's awesome. I think I read a little bit into Greg Capullo's run, and then, I don't know. Yeah, I had a hard time really getting into the story, but yeah, the artwork was phenomenal. I mean, of course, Greg Capullo, you can't go wrong with that. What about you, Creative Fate? Did you read any of the Spawn, or have you kept up with them at all, or read any of the old stuff? Um, I was really excited actually because not too long ago I went to a local comic book store in around here in Omaha, and they had a um, they had like the first 5 or 6 issues of Pit, and for a very reasonably priced. So I was ecstatic on that because that's been one I've been trying to nail down. Selfishly, I'm a little partial to that one because the kid that he befriends, his name is Timmy, and being named Tim my own self, I'm like, yay, Pit's out to help me. I also watched the HBO show back in the well, not so much back in the day. I was way too young. We didn't have HBO, but later on, I definitely watched a good chunk of that. I got Spawn 1, Spawn 10, and Gunslinger Spawn. Nice. Yeah, the Gunslinger Spawn, I might have to check that one out. That sounds like fun. Yeah, Spawn 1, that's a good find. Yeah, I'll admit the image guys. I didn't really discover most of that stuff until a bit later on. Like I was definitely around then. I was a kid in the '90s, but I was still pretty young, so most of my comic book knowledge was the Marvels and the DCs and all that stuff. But my first image discovery was probably Pitt, honestly, and I just thought he was awesome. And then of course I started seeing Spawn everywhere, Spawn figures, and I was an average. You know, he started showing up all over the place and Toys R Us and whatnot. So then I'd be like, "Who's this Spawn guy I keep seeing?" And then the more you learn about him, you're just like, "Awesome." But yeah, I've been trying to. My main. Let's see, I was born in '92, so discovering stuff now. Okay, okay. You're not too far after me. I was born in '89, so you're not too far after me. But yeah, I grew up on the '90s X-Men cartoon, the Batman animated series, all the stuff that I discovered Dave Williams worked on, and I was like, holy crap! There's that one Graybeards episode where he's pulling out some of those design pages he did so casually, and he's like, "Oh yeah, here's all the parademons I designed," and I'm just sitting there going, "Wait, what?" Here's Parasite I designed. I'm just like, dude, I remember watching that when that aired. Holy crap! Yeah, the Spawn HBO show. I was way too young to watch that when that came out. We didn't even have HBO, but yeah, good times, man, good times. Of course, I still to this day have not forgiven Jim Lee for putting Wolverine back in the yellow and blue outfit. I was always more of the fan of the orange version. Batman Beyond, yes, Shui. That was a phenomenal show. I love. There's a great little video on YouTube. It's probably a behind the scenes featurette. I got the Blu-ray actually of animated series, Batman animated series, and Batman Beyond, and that document is that behind the scenes thing is on there. Yeah, they're talking to Paul Dini and Bruce Timm about how Batman Beyond came about, and I don't know, you probably know the story, but um, yeah, they were the Batman animated series and everything was doing extremely well at that point, and so they all got called in. I think it was them, Dwayne McDuffie, and then the other guy that's always with them, whose name I can never remember. I feel bad about it, but they all got called into the dreaded meeting with the producers, and they were saying, "Yeah, you're doing so great on Batman, and everything's going wonderful, but." You know what the kids really want? They want a teenage Batman, a younger Batman. And of course, they were all like, "Are you serious? We don't want to do a teenage Batman." But of course, the producer was like, "No, it'll be awesome. I see it now. It's going to be amazing. Do it. Write it up." And so they all left the meeting just really angry. I'm probably not going to do any more Phineas and Ferb for a bit, bud. But anyway, so they were leaving the the meeting. They were all in the parking lot, just fuming, just getting out all their frustrations about this. They're like, "Yeah, this is stupid. A teenage Batman. There's no way it could work." And then, but then Paul Dini's like, "Yeah, the only way it could really work is if we made like Bruce Wayne really old and set it like way in the future." And then the guys are like, actually, yeah. And then if we did, yeah, maybe we could do this and that. And the next thing you know, after they're griping about it, they had a whole TV show planned out. They ended up making this just amazing show. So I don't know. I always thought that story was funny. Yeah, love stories like that. It's like there's the only way it could ever work is if we did this and that and the other thing. You know what? We might actually have something here. But yeah, and then the way they tied that into the Justice League Unlimited, oh, that was so cool. And then I remember as a kid being having my mind blown when I realized the guy that played Eric Matthews was the voice of Terry McGinnis. That just blew my mind. I heard that story. That's funny, isn't it great? Yeah, Bruce Timm and um, Paul Dini on that behind the scenes thing. They're talking about that. They're like, "This is just the stupidest thing ever. Why do we make us do that?" Here's hoping that they. Well, actually, I don't know if I want to say that. I would say here's hoping they do a movie of Batman Beyond. But at this point, I'm like, I feel like they would ruin it. Not that I don't have any trust in WB. I don't. Let's see. Have you picked up any sludge issues? No, I need to. Um, that is something. That is something I need to get. I've got the Rate the God books and I got Garbage Man. But I did order the that sketchbook, that Comic Con sketchbook that Aaron posted. But yeah, no, I do need to track down some sludge issues for sure. Do you know how many issues that ran? It makes the finding the cast. Yeah, exactly, exactly. I've been trying to think about like if I had my way and I could get any actor or any director to do. Yeah, found three and one, 3 and 5. Nice, nice. Um, there's a really good online store I found called it's like mycomicshop.com. Um, I might have to look on there see if they got any sludge. Um, but yeah, if I had my way, who would I want to play? You know, old man Bruce Wayne and Terry McGinnis, and who I'd want to direct that kind of stuff. I don't know. Just got the sketchbook today. I think 12. Okay, awesome, awesome. Yeah, I think I just got the tracking for my copy of the sketchbook, so hopefully it'll be here relatively soon. He's got this big old 4-bore gun. A lot of this stuff I'm going to do with the coloring. I'm going to do the markers. So I'm going to keep that. But yeah, no, I definitely want to check out some sludge and some of those old Malibu stuff. Um, I'm kind of curious about Prime. Of course, Lord Pumpkin. I want to get that too. But I know uh, it seems like Aaron chuckles every time you mention Prime, but I feel like I don't know. He just seems kind of fun, just that over the top, kind of super manly, super muscular hero guy. 12 issues of Sludge. I think I can track that down. Yeah. So I'll add that to my list between that and Pit. I did actually find some old Nom books drawn by Michael Golden that were pretty sweet. Of course, the art on that is, I mean, it's Michael Golden art, so it's insane. That was a nice look. And then I've been trying to get as many Punisher books as I can. So I did find some of those Mark Texeira books. I found one series drawn by I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but yeah, it was drawn by um, looked like they said it was drawn by Wrightson. So looking forward to that. That's probably the I don't know if that's the era. It's probably outside of that era of Wrightson that Aaron likes. But the little bits that I looked at so far, the art was incredible. Prime, Prime is weird. He's like Shazam. Oh, okay, gotcha. So it's like a little kid who has the magic phrase and then turns into Prime. Okay, I can dig that. I don't know. I just like whoever drew him just went just so um, over the top with the anatomy and the muscles. I just find that fun. Found a few on a bootleg. Oh yeah, read all comics. Yes, I am familiar with that site. Um, I tend to use a VPN a lot, and that site apparently doesn't like that anymore. So I haven't been able to get on that one in a while. I found one called Batcave.cc, I think. That's got a lot on there. But yeah, there's the search feature on that site is not great, but not magic, more like an exoskeleton. Oh, interesting. So okay, so it's like so someone's wearing that, or or it's some dude he's like wearing like a bodysuit that makes him. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. Well, I guess yeah. If you had the kid yell something and turn in, that probably would be too close to copyright. I'm assuming. I would imagine. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I might have to check that out. Inherited the ability from his dad. Okay. Interesting. Put my I have to retouch up some of that. I got a big old glob of white out here because I don't know if you were here when I did that. I completely screwed up and inked in the white stripe of the suit on that side. So oh, tried to save it with some white out. It looks like it's picking up a little bit down here, but I'll fix that later. Um, so let's start with the red. This is about as it's kind of a darker red than I want. So let's see if I got a brighter red. Yeah, it's interesting. If he's not careful, the power could drown him. Huh. Okay. So the power. Huh. Okay. I'm not gonna lie. I'm intrigued. I am intrigued by this. Power could drown him. So does it like feed off of him or something? Or is it just the more he pushes it, it just wears him out to the point where it could could kill him. I realize I could just look it up and read it myself, but you've got me curious now. I think, let's see. Zatterby comes an ooze. It intrigued me too if he gets worn out. Oh, okay. Interesting. That's kind of cool. That sounds kind of cool. So you kind of, yeah, so you got to be strategic when you use the power because otherwise it can get real bad if you get too carried away with it. That's intriguing. I like that idea. I like that a lot. They had some cool ideas back in the day. Yeah, I'll have to check on my comic shop, see if they got any of that stuff on there. I do have a few decent shops out here, but they tend to be they tend to carry more of the mainstream stuff and image when it comes to like the back issues. I haven't run into too many books from the other companies, so I don't know if I don't know if they'd have any Malibus. I mean, they might, I guess, but I did actually recently. I was able to get a good deal on a run of. There was a mini series called Five Ghosts that came out from Image quite a few years ago now. If you're not familiar with that one, that's kind of a fun one to check out. Yeah, there's still some cool ideas out there, but you have to dig for them. Absolutely. Sup, Master Figures? Welcome back. Welcome back. Hope all is good with you. Yeah, I found a bunch at my comic shop. That's awesome. Yeah, I might. I'm gonna have to look again because you never know. You know what kind of stuff they're gonna have. I got a couple nearby, a couple good shops nearby me. But like I said, in my experience, at least from what I've when I've looked through them, they don't have a whole lot of the I don't know. I want to say obscure sounds a bit weird. Sounds a bit mean, but yeah, the less prominent ones. But yeah, Five Ghosts is a fun book if you ever get a chance to check it out. It's kind of a love letter to like the old school pulp kind of characters. This dude, he's kind of possessed slash. I should drop Prime next time. You know what? I might just do that. Um, I might have to try that. That could be fun. Just go ham on all those muscles. That's a good idea. Yeah, my Tuesday night stream. I did promise that I got to do Guile, but I'll definitely add Prime to the list for sure. Basically, just put all the muscles on, and then when you think you've got enough, just add more. I can do that. Because otherwise, his superpowers are kind of Superman like, aren't they? Like, does he fly and have invulnerability and all that stuff? I'm so glad I recently refilled this, and so it's working beautifully. Love it. How's your Spawn drawing coming, Master Figures? You said you were drawing along. Different flies, but I don't remember the other powers. Gotcha, gotcha. Fair enough. Okay. I think I'm gonna do the back part of his cape. I think I'm gonna use this other red because it's a little bit darker, so that might be yeah, I think I might use that darker color for my shading and the whole back section here. Oh man, yeah, refilling this thing was a mess. I don't know if you can see the cap there. I kind of overdid it when I filled it up, and of course this looks, very bloody. So yeah, so for a bit there, and it took like a couple days to get all that ink to wash off my fingers because there's so much of it. So for a few days, a lot of people are like, "What'd you do to yourself?" And I'm like, "Oh no, it's fine." I was like, "Art is dangerous." But I looked at the first a few issues, haven't read the whole thing. Gotcha. Fair enough. Fair enough. Sorry, I'm a nerd, so when I hear about these things, I'm like, I must know more. Tell me, tell me. All right, actually, Creative Fate. Do you have? I've asked this earlier. I don't think you were here for that, but do you have a preference for Spawn artists? I mean, as much as I love Todd personally, I'm more of a. That reminds me of Invader Zim. Oh yeah, tell me. That's a great show. I must know. Tell me. Good call. Good call on that show. Todd, yeah, that's fair. I tend to bounce back and forth between Todd and Greg Capullo. I gotta give this a chance to re. Come on, bud. Come on, come on, come on. You can do it. Small chunks. Yeah, I did watch that video you sent me of Todd doing the that critique. That was something else. Man, I would have been so starstruck. Is it Nathan? Is that how you pronounce that? Hi, just joined. Love the art. Awesome. Thanks, man. Thank you very much. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're good. This is my attempt at drawing Spawn. Greg is good, but I like Todd. He's good on certain things. Oh, for sure, for sure. Yeah, no, I mean they're both amazing. Um, I mean, most of the Spawn books that I read, growing up back in the day, they were definitely the Todd issues. But I think I kind of fell off a little bit into the Grey Capullo run, not because of the art, but yeah, I just kind of fell out of the story. Like in those days, I was buying books because of the story, less so for the art. I know that was kind of unusual for the '90s, but of course nowadays I've completely changed on that front. But what I loved about Todd, especially like, yeah, he was all like, okay, what are the kids like? Kids like cyborgs. You know what else kids like? Kids like ninjas. So you know what? Cyborg ninjas. That's what we're doing. How does it work? Doesn't matter. We'll figure it out. And he was right. It was always awesome. Yeah, like early on in the books, he had that big cyborg dude with all of the guns. Cerberus was. Oh, really? Cerberus was fun. That's cool. I did like the some of the Sam and Twitch books. There was a I have a hardcover of a Sam and Twitch story arc that was really awesome. Spawn showed up in those for a little bit. It's giving the marker tip a chance to resaturate a bit. Come on, you can do it. You can do it, red marker. Almost done. So we're gonna give that a chance to kind of reconstitute itself, and then I'm gonna work on some of the other areas here. Let's see. Spawn 10 is the official crossover, and Spawn 5, Cerberus has a stuffed animal. Oh, you know what? You're right. Spawn 5. That's right. 'Cause, Spawn 5, that's the Billy Kincaid issue. Yeah, you're right. I do remember, now you mentioned that. Yeah, I do remember there being a Cerberus in that. That's funny. I didn't catch that before. Well, it's funny, like, because I've been reading the those Pit issues I got, and Dale Keown, he not so subtly names a lot of editors and other people in the book that I know that he has been pretty open about not being big fans of, and so it's kind of funny. You can kind of catch some of those guys showing up as as like villains or just like not so great peoples. I don't know. I find that stuff funny. I really do need to work on my chains. Same with Twitch looks interesting. Yeah, I have a hardcover omnibus. Well, I have two of them actually. They're all in the same arc. I've only read the first one so far. I need to read that second one, but yeah, they're fun. It's in that same universe, obviously, as Spawn. But it doesn't really focus on Spawn so much. It really just focuses on them doing their detective-y stuff, and it's great. Have you read Hyde Street? No, I have not. I have not. What is Hyde Street? I might have to check that one out. That lovable squeaky noise. Okay. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Almost there. Okay. Well, we'll let that sit some more. I'll do the. Oh, it's dark red. So which one's Hyde Street? Is that a um, is that an image thing or is that something else? I gotta tell you, man. Having after going for my Copics, I've been using these Ohu markers for a while, and they don't. And then going back to the Copics and then using this again, I gotta tell you, these Ohu markers are quite impressive to me. Uh, Ghost. Okay, it's like the Twilight Zone, but horror. It follows different residents that have to get people to either confess their sins or refuse. Oh, Image Comics Ghost Machine. That sounds fun. I might have to check that out. Hyde Street. That sounds like fun. Yeah, I might have to check that out. Yeah, I did see at my comic store. I haven't gotten it because it was ridiculously expensive. But they had this huge hardcover omnibus of a bunch of EC horror books. They wanted a lot of money for it, so I haven't gotten it yet. But I haven't gotten it, but I was tempted. Yeah, Ghost Machine. I've heard of that. I haven't read that one. I gave Aaron my issues at SummerCon because I'm gonna go for the trade. Oh, gotcha. That's cool. Danny Mickey. Oh, okay. Sold. Sold. Well, you had me with that premise. I mean, I love a good horror book, horror stuff. I love all that. So definitely gonna check those out. Can't go wrong with Danny Mickey either. So definitely. Yeah, I've been watching a lot of Richard Friend inking tutorials lately. You think I'd be better at it now after how many of those I've watched. But yeah, I've got one of those. I did get a 8404, and I've tried messing around with it. It's, I mean, I can see why a lot of people love it, but yeah, it's definitely not a skill set that I have. Like I can do it right with it, but I'm no Gary Martin with a brush. I wish I was. Each resident gets points if for every soul they collect. If they get it 10,000, they can leave. Oh, okay. Yep. You've already sold me on it, but I'm definitely gonna get it. Hide. I gotta scroll up again. What was it? Hyde Street. Okay, I'm gonna write that one down. I'm gonna write that down. Hyde Street. Hyde Street. So is the trade already out, or is that coming out? Just stab myself in the gut with my pencil. That's exciting. All right, come on, bud. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. There we go. Takes physical practice to learn. Exactly. No, that's for sure. That's for sure. Um, yeah. Well, this was, I don't know if you can see that too well. Like this was me trying to do some lines with it. This is a exercise I saw in a David Finch video where you draw the egg shape and then try to um, start thick and then go lighter with each stroke. So this was me attempting it. This was me sharpening and trying things. So ignore this. This face sucks. But yeah, this was me trying to practice with it. And you know, I can do it if I have to. But yeah, it's definitely not a doesn't come as natural to me. Yeah, I told Gary on I tagged Gary on X. Like I got his when I got his Brush with Destiny book. I was like, dude, you are a monster with a brush. You have my absolute respect. Trade comes out in November. All right, all right. I will definitely be on the lookout for that. William of Newbury was also a good comic. Okay. William of Newbury. I'm gonna have to definitely have to check all these out. Let's see. I'm trying to think of some other good ones. Killer Be Killed was a good one that I really liked. A lot of those Ed Brubaker, Sean Phillips books I really liked. Like Fatale was phenomenal. If you haven't read that one, if you like the horror stuff, Fatale is pretty darn good. It's kind of like a classic film noir type story, but with Cthulhu cults and time, um, and you know, traveling across not really time travel, but like characters that live forever. Loosely based on a true story of a monk in the 13th century. Okay, sold. I'll write that one down too. William of Newbury. Yeah, one book though I am really excited about is or coming out is that Psychotic Sam by Mark Millar and Romita Jr. I'm pretty stoked about that one. Yeah, I backed that Kickstarter, so um, yeah, I'm stoked for that one. Yeah, I've been trying to catch up on my Mark Millar books or Mark Miller books. Sorry. Barfly is another fun one. Got a little gross in places. Oh no, that reminds me of speaking of gross but fun. Have you ever read Chew? That one's pretty fun, but it is gross. It's about this um, it's this world where people can have different like food based superpowers, and so the main guy, his thing is whenever he eats something, he gains all of the knowledge and of the knowledge that it has and the like the history of it and where it came from and all that. And so he's been brought in as a by the local homicide division. So they're like, yeah, it's you can imagine where that goes. It's gross but really fun. And like the FDA is like some like super like spy organization, and like chicken's been outlawed for some reason. But yeah, if you're not familiar with Chew, definitely check that one out if you don't mind the gross stuff with a mix of dark humor. That one's fun. I'm trying to think of some other fun one. It's a spin-off series from Minor Threats. It's about a former supervillain henchman trying to find his place in the world. Okay. All right, I'll check that out. Not gonna lie, I first read that as Barfly, which also sounds fun. But that sounds like fun. I had another one that came to mind, another book I was gonna mention, but completely forgot. So let's see. 4 issues and the trade's already out. Okay, okay, all right. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I know different people have different opinions on them, but and I do too. But was it Witches by Scott Snyder and Jock? Um, is a pretty solid little horror story if that's your speed. I know some people have very strong opinions about him as a writer, and I don't disagree in a lot of those. But that one in particular, I thought was quite good. Let's see. Spawn has green eyes, right? These photos I'm pulling up are all pretty low res. So I'm having a hard time. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Green eyes. Kind of all over the place. The comics. All like, yeah, same here, man. Same here. Um, one book series I kind of liked. It's really, really weird, but it was really funny. It's called Shirtless Bear Fighter. It came out quite a long time ago, but man, that's hilarious. If you want just a good laugh. I mean, the story is pretty. While also being picky. Oh, for sure, for sure. Yeah, if you want something that's just ridiculous, but just doesn't and knows it's ridiculous and just runs with it. Shirtless Bear Fighter is fun. You kind of know what it's about just by the title, but it's a good time. Let's see. Just pure ridiculousness. Let's see. Trying to think of some other ones that are good that I've read recently. Yeah, I think I mentioned those Nam books that I got with Michael Golden art, which oh my god, those are so good. Yeah, it's a little darker than I want. Let's see. I want a subtle highlight or subtle shadow on these. Yeah, I kind of like the warm shadow. I'd love to shoot a big gun like this. Giant gun kind of reminds me of like a Hellboy type thing with that giant. Um, what's it? Oh, sorry, I just saw that. Was it Panini Koa has followed on Twitch. So thank you very much. If you're still watching, thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. After I'd finished my Domini book, I got a story of that I want to do that involves some guns. Mike Allred Madman series is a fun read. Read a couple issues. I wish I could find the beginning of the series. All right, I'll have to check that out. Well, Michael Allred's hard to beat, so I'll definitely have to check that out. But yeah, back in the day, I was yeah, pretty much anything like Ed Brubaker and Sheldon Phillips do. I'm a big fan of. The Goon is all right. I started reading that. I read the first issue of that. That was a lot of fun. I need to finish that. I thought that was fun. Huck is really good by Mark Miller. I thought that was really fun. Of course, Wanted's great. Um, yeah, that one movie or that one comic was Empress, which I wasn't. That one I was into until the end. I thought the ending of it really kind of ruined it for me, but up until that point, I was really into it. I mean, the artwork by Stuart Immonen was fantastic. But yeah, Huck is just a good, fun, just a good dude doing good dude things. Trying to think. I was in a bit of a Garth Ennis kick for a bit until I read Cross. Then I was just kind of like, eh. Maybe not so much. If you're not familiar with that one, that's a messed up book. That's coming from me saying that. Let's see. Okay, oh yeah, here we go. I was gonna do the hands. Of course, Garth Ennis's run on Punisher, especially Punisher Max, was great. Of course, my first Punisher book, which I'm a big Punisher fan. I don't mind acknowledging that. But yeah, my first Punisher book I didn't realize was Chuck Dixon, which my God, that dude, yeah. And they stole a scene right from it when they did that Thomas Jane Punisher movie. They stole that right from the book that I have, right from the issue I have. So I was like, I've seen that issue. Yeah, I saw that rune picture that David Williams drew, and which of course was awesome. But yeah, his design looked really interesting. I don't know anything about him, but he looked really cool. So I'd love to check that one out. Oh yeah, I got to blacken out. I'm going to blacken out a bunch of this hand, so I don't know why I'm putting color on it, but who cares? So what is Rune about? Like I said, he did look cool. He's a creature that is trying to take over a boy's body to live. Oh, interesting. So is he like a bad guy? That's kind of a cool idea, though. That's a cool concept, though. I do like that. Or does he enhance the boy's body when he takes it over? I just completely silhouette of the hand out, and you know what? I'm just gonna go with it. Appeared that the boy is part of a government project of clones. Yeah, gotcha. Okay. So it's not like a kid just minding his own business all of a sudden gets taken over by some alien that's like alien parasite that's trying to just ruin his body. But no, that's a cool idea. I like that. Especially if you're supposed to be, kind of a good guy. But yeah, like I said, I love that. I love that artwork that DWAMS did for him. So I'll have to check that out. Let's see. Here we go. Let's see here. God, I love these freaking Poscas, man. So good. Let's see. Well, the boy doesn't know. He's just living a normal life, but has nightmares of the creature who eventually appeared. Oh, dude. Okay, that's kind of cool. I'll have to check that out. Let's see. Let's kind of bit of a highlight there. Really fix that stripe that I ruined. Actually, doesn't look too bad, at least as far as the video is concerned. I can't help but feel like I botched this chain, though. Chains aren't really my strong suit. On one of Finch's live stream, I was able to convince him to do a short video on chains, which he did, and it ended up being awesome. But of course, the way he does it, it's just like super detailed. Okay, I think. Chain's fine. White lines should have been over more. Yeah, I know, you're right. But nah. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Yeah, outside of like going in with an acrylic or a gouache or something, I'm not sure how else to fix that. I don't know if you were here for that earlier, but yeah, when I was inking, I accidentally filled in that whole area, so I had to go in completely with whiteout. But eh. Let's see. I guess I could try it again here. Let's see. Still looks great. Thank you. Thank you. I'm debating. I don't know if I should try to fix that or not. Master Figures best spawn ever. Oh man, you are way too kind. Thank you. Thank you very much. That is very nice of you to say. I don't know if I'd go that far myself, but I appreciate it. Let's see. Yeah, I guess I'll just leave the stripe as is for now. You know what? I'll think about it. But you're welcome. Thank you, man. Thank you. How'd your spawn turn out? I know you said you were drawing along. I'd love to see it. Should win over his rib cage more. Yeah. Should win over his rib cage more. Oh, you mean kind of like over here? Best amateur spawn ever. Thanks. Yeah. Yeah. All right. I'll take that. I'll take that. Thank you. Looks good. Just needs a little Danny DeVito in the corner. Right? Right? Add a little violator in the back. Amazing. I'll post it. Yeah, please do, man. Yeah, and tag me. Wherever you post it, tag me. I'd love to see it. I might try to fix this off stream. At least fix that stripe. I don't know, because I got a pretty thick layer of whiteout already on there to fix it earlier, so I may have to get the old school brush out and fix that. But let's see. You know what I could do? Tell you what I could do. Bear with me. I have an idea. This could be a massive fail. But you know what? No guts, no glory, as they say, right? How about I just widen this out a bit, and I can widen it out on both sides. Dave Drew Cerberus is Spawn. There's your Danny DeVito. Yeah, right. Tell you what, I'm just going to widen this out a bit. And then I'll come, once this dries, I'll come back in with the ink and fix it up a bit. I mean, that kind of already looks a little bit better on the stream, but yeah, I'll okay, I can widen that up a bit. And then I think, yeah, that's going to need a little bit longer to dry. But yeah, I think all in all, not too bad. I admit I haven't drawn Spawn a lot, so this was a fun challenge for sure. Just kind of. You know what? Let's go with this. Yeah, this ain't gonna work. That brush ain't gonna do it. All right. You know what? No guts, no glory. We're going to go. Let's bring out the old school brush. This is going to be done right, darn it. One way or the other. Watch, I just spill ink all over myself. That'd be amazing. Okay. Here's a paper towel. I already got some ink on the hands, so that's exciting. That's how you know it's going to go well. Okay. Dip it just a bit. Da-da-da. When your ink's stained, you know you had a good day. That is the truth. And it could be worse. It could be putting on a glove like Aaron does. Let's see. I think it looks like this kind of comes in a little bit. There. That doesn't look too horrible. Getting the Kelsey ink finger. Oh, yeah. I'm all about it. All about it. Yeah, honestly, Kelsey's kind of one of the inspirations for me trying like brushes and different paints. I just love his cavalier attitude. And he goes, worst case scenario, I fail miserably. And just go with it. And I love that. Let's see, actually, it looks like this kind of curves at the top here, like so. And then there's kind of a little bit of a cutout. There we go. Yeah. We'll just go this route. Of course, now that once you get some ink on the brush, you're just like, I want to just go to town. Screw it, I'm having fun. Let's go. This is where I begin to ruin things. Let's see. Looking at my monitor here just to make sure everything's okay. I might sharpen this up a bit. I'll post it tomorrow. Sounds good, Master Figures. Appreciate it, man. Sounds good. Love to see it. I use gloves of charcoal because it irritates my skin. You know, I've been wanting to try charcoal. I've got some charcoal pencils, and I haven't really tried it yet, but I'm definitely curious about it. Well, talk about being picky. I got a charcoal pencil. I sharpened it and I'm like, awesome, let's do this. And then it didn't go on the paper feeling the same way as um, my the pencils I'm used to, the graphite pencils. And so I was just like, nope, I don't like it, and immediately just canceled it. But yeah, I need to try that again. But yeah, I miss Kelsey too, man. I want him to come back so bad. Not that I don't love the other guys, but man, yeah, Dan Kelsey's a lot of fun. When I like watching a lot of those old episodes he's in. When I tend to have them a lot in the background while I'm drawing. Yeah, graphite pencil. Yeah, I mean it's what I'm used to, and talk about being picky. Yeah, I don't know that. I know the paper changes a lot. I know the paper changes a lot about what you do or how they feel too. I know a lot of people like the newsprint paper for charcoal, but I know it's not really archival, so it's like yeah. But yeah, graphite and ink. Yeah, that's my go-to, and it's really funny. Every time I bring like when I'm done with the brush, like inking with a brush, I'm like, oh my god, that was really stressful, but fun. But then like when I bring it out, I'm like, man, I kind of like it. I'm like, man, it does some really cool stuff. And then I just hear Gary in the back of my head judging me, like, that's how you're gonna do it? You're really gonna ink it like that? You really think that's a good idea? I'm like, I don't know any better, Gary. I wasn't trained by Terry Austin. I don't know these things. I'm like, ah, this is where I ruin things. See, I like it because on the camera, it all looks the same as far as um, the black levels all look the same. But yeah, in the original, they all look completely different. Although lately, I've been on a kick of listening to Please Hold for Dave Sim episodes. It's basically talk radio. I'll have to check those out. Yeah, I know you definitely piqued my interest on Dave Sim. I let Gary suffer on my penalty. Exactly, exactly. That's been kind of my philosophy too. Just be like, you know what? I love my pens, but then I try a brush. I'm like, there's some method, there's some merit to it, but then I try to get something like super fine, and it's just like, okay, no, no, pen it is. So I keep going back and forth. Yeah, I just picture Gary cringing every time I put a line down. That's not how Golden would do it. Then you get the brush like starts bending a bit. And you're like, ah, I am clumsy for a brush. Yeah, I mean, I am too. Well, like I've been for the longest time with my pencils. I've been trying for a long time. I've been working on lightening up my touch with pencils, and I've been drawing a lot with like brush pens, trying to get more comfortable with those. So I've been kind of using those as a uh, gateway tool, kind of get me used to them. But I don't know. I discovered for me, I tend to work best when I kind of flick it downwards. Like when you see some of those guys do those big long lines like that, yeah, I can't do that. But Paula Rivera here on YouTube does a great video on brush inking. And I've been watching that, and I'm watching a lot of um, Richard Friend videos. Maybe if I owned a place where it didn't matter about anything. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I get that. I've I got a little. See the way I got it set. I got a little glass jar here that I've put a bunch of ink in, and then I got my plastic water jar here. So these things they're done in a way that I'm very hopefully unlikely to spill them because I've definitely been there where yeah my previous uh, a previous house yeah I've spilled a bunch of ink all over the carpet and yeah it was just like yeah yeah there's no saving that once you get to that point. I want to start hatching now all of a sudden. Let's see. I don't know if you can tell. That's all right. That's all right. But one tool I've been really obsessed with lately are these Tombow brushes, brush pens. They're one's got a gray tip, the other one's black. I really like how these things feel um, for doing a lot of line work. That was kind of a one. Honestly, I kind of use that one a lot for getting comfortable with brushing because I mean I don't know if I can really say I'm comfortable with it, but I can get by. But that was kind of a good practice one for me. I don't know. I'm just kind of noodling it at this point. Almost 3 hours. Okay. Yeah, we'll probably. Let's see. Gotta get some. Kuritakis are good too. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Kuritakis are great. I have some of those Zig yeah those Zig calligraphy pens that Aaron and D Williams use, but of course now that I'm live, I can't seem to find them anywhere. But yeah, those are really cool. I don't know that chisel tip. I'm not quite as used to that as Aaron is, but I tend to like them for real big, or like chunky shapes. If I'm doing like a rock texture or something like that, I tend to like those for that. I really like the ink in those. I found out that the company makes them. Hey, that's my mom is here. Hey, mom, how are you? All right, everybody, my mom's here, so behave now. Um, Giving Spawn a try. I'm being gutsy by trying to brush ink live on stream. But I found that yeah Zig that makes those calligraphy brushes. They actually sell that very ink in a jar for brush inking, and it's pretty awesome stuff. I don't know. I don't know if a gun like this needs serrated edges on the back, but they're there. see. Yeah, fun looking good too. Oh, thanks, Mom. Appreciate it. Yeah, definitely have given this one the old college try. You know what? I'm just going to black out this hole. Yeah, that doesn't need to be. Okay. See if I can get some dry brush. There we go. Yeah. Dry brush. Woo! Now I'm having way too much fun with this. Okay. All right. All right. I probably should call this before I ruin it some more. But let's see here. Trying to think if there's anything else I can add to this. I can't really think of much else. I don't know. What do you think, Creative Faye? Or Master of Figures? Or Mom? Anyone else out there? You got any? Let's see. I think that stripe looks a lot better. I got that placed better. Um, Time for a new piece of paper. Yeah, exactly. Call it good. For sure, for sure. Alrighty. I'm going to let all that stuff dry. And let's see. Oh my gosh, have we really been going for 3 hours? Oh, dang. Oh, dang. Okay. I guess all that's left here is to sign it. It's always that whole, should I sign it like in black out here, or should I sign it like in white down here? Yes, better place on the stripe. Yeah, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I think it looks a little more even. Although, of course, I just put the brush away. But I might be able to do it with this. I don't know. Maybe I can. Nope, this just does not want to. That doesn't want to do it. Okay. There. Kind of. There. Get that shape a little bit more. Cool. All right. Time to sign. Fantastic. Finding some spots here where the went a little bit over on the marker, so just filling that out. There. There. All righty. Cool. Well, I think we're going to call that good. I got enough ink on all my hands, so that's how you know this was done well, or at least I don't know, at least attempted, I should say, by hand. This was so. Yes, gotta love the ink. Gotta love the ink finger, ink hands. Gotta love it. So anyway, yeah, I think okay, we just hit the 3 hours, so I think that's probably about it for what I'm going to be up for. Perfect. Thanks, Mom. Appreciate it. Um, so I think that's probably about as good a time as any to call it for now. So thank you guys, everybody that's been watching. Creative Faye, Master of Figures, Mads 20, It's a Jamie. Appreciate all those. And Mom, thanks everybody for hanging out. If you feel so led, if you haven't already, feel free to like, subscribe if you're on YouTube. Keep an eye out for the um, posting of this online. I'm going to do a good scan of it here shortly. And also, as let you know, I usually do a Tuesday night draw stream, but I will be out of town this Tuesday, so I won't be able to do it then. But coming back the following Tuesday, I'll definitely be back. Um, Probably doing either Guile or Creative Fake Game. The idea of trying to draw Prime, so we'll see what happens there. But anyway,